Brittany here from Pennies and Pearls. Guess what we're going to be talking about today? I'm going to teach you guys the 6 basic steps to starting a budget. Anytime that we come on here and I'm talking with you guys and I'm explaining different ways how to live your dream life on less, it all comes back to a budget. That is the basic, the very base of everything that we talk about here. So I thought that it would make sense if I taught you guys the 6 basic steps to getting your own budget started. And if you already have a budget, you still might want to stick around because these tips can help you find ways to maybe alter your budget and kind of tweak it a little bit, fine tune your own budget. So if you are interested in learning the very basic, simple steps to getting your budget started to help you guys be able to manage your money, spend it where you want to, that's what's awesome about a budget, is that it actually allows you to spend your money where you want, then you're gonna want to stay tuned. Welcome back, you guys. If you're new to this channel, you might want to consider hitting that subscribe button down there if you are interested in learning tips on how to live your dream life on less. This is where I show you how to manage your money, how to save money any way possible, and still go out and have a really fun and awesome life. So consider hitting subscribe if that sounds good to you. And if you already have done that, welcome back. Not only in this video am I going to share with you the 6 steps that our family has used to set our budget that has helped us to be able to get out of $20,000 in debt, to help us start working towards saving to buy our first house. I'm also going to be sharing with you a couple different tools that we use, and of course anything that I talk about in this video, I am going to have links for. And all those tools that I talk about, I will have links down in the description box below for you guys. So if you are on your mobile device, then you're just gonna hit the little caret button. That will drop down the description box for you. And if you're on your computer, there's a little show more button right there. Click that and you'll get all the links that you need. Don't forget, you guys, if you like this video, to give it a thumbs up, because that is what lets me know that you like these types of videos, and I'll keep them coming for you. Okay, here are the 6 basic steps to getting your budget started. Super quick, super easy, helping you save your money and spend it where you actually want to. Okay, so the very first thing you're gonna need to do is figure out your income. Now that might be a little bit more tricky than it sounds because everyone gets paid a little bit differently. Some people get paid monthly, some people get paid bi-monthly, so they'll get paid like on the 15th and the 30th of each month. Some people get paid bi-weekly, like our family, so we get paid every other week. Think about how your family gets paid and then take an average that number. So if you get paid monthly, figure out an average monthly income. If you get paid bi-weekly, figure out an average bi-weekly paycheck. And that is how we're gonna start off with your budget. I would be interested to know, how do you guys get paid? Do you get paid monthly? Do you get paid bi-weekly? Let me know down in the comments below, and then I can kind of get some more videos together for you catered to the specific ways that you get paid, because that does affect the way that you pay out bills and how you kind of manage and plan for upcoming expenses. So let me know down in the comments below and I'll work on that for you. Second thing we're gonna do after you've figured out what your average income is for that month, now is the time for you to sit down and set some of your financial goals. Now there are going to be a lot of subcategories in your financial goal category. We have all of our goals for the year, right? We're talking finances right now. Okay, I just couldn't go on because he kept coming in. Anyways, so I'm going to give you all those subcategories in just a second. But I want you to first get in your mind that we're going to be setting goals based on a couple different time frames. You're going to do a 6-month goal, a 1-year goal, and start there. And then once you feel comfortable with those goals, then I want you to move on to some more long-term goals, 5-year, 10-year. For the categories underneath your financial goals, what you're gonna wanna do is start thinking about everything that you spend money on, and that might sound overwhelming, but let me give you some guidelines. An emergency fund, that should be the first thing that you're thinking about. And we're just talking about a very basic $1,000 emergency fund. That is the very first thing that you need to be getting saved up and put aside for an emergency, because it's not a matter of if. I just hit my lip. It's not a matter of if that emergency is going to come, it's going to be when, and you don't want to have that emergency come and have your whole financial plan, your budget just thrown out the window. That would be a disaster. We don't want that to happen for you. The next thing would be debt. Do you have any debt? Our family, like I told you, used this budgeting system, helped us get out of over $20,000 in debt. Dropped his apple. Say we're debt free. Set your goals for getting out of debt. Retirement, housing. Do you want to buy a house? Vacations, education. Other smaller savings goals would be things like you want to have some money set aside possibly for medical expenses that you have for kids, like preschool registration or college tuition. We talked about that in education. Saving up for a new car or car expenses, all of those things. And if you're married, you're going to want to sit down with your spouse and get those goals set out on paper together. This part is very important because if you don't have those goals, you don't know what you're working for, and then you're going to be sitting there trying to set a budget and you just don't know where to go with it. So set those goals, sit down together, and actually get those goals out of the way. The third thing you're going to want to do, and by third, I mean third thing you're going to do is figure out where you currently are spending your money. This is before you even get your budget going. You want to figure out where is all your money going. I know you're thinking at every paycheck or at the end of every pay cycle, I know you're wondering, where did all my money go? We've been there. We've done that. We've overdrafted many, many times in the past before we started doing our budgeting. I know you're thinking it, you don't know where it went. So let me share with you how we were able to figure out where all our money was disappearing to. The way you're going to be able to start doing that is to start tracking your spending. There's a couple different ways to do that. You can either do it on paper or you can do it digitally or using different online services like we did. We used mint.com. If you're a pen and paper type person, I do have a budgeting starter kit. And in that budgeting starter kit, and again, those links will be down below for you to download it. It's totally free. I do have an spending tracker in there. And what you want to do when you're tracking your spending is to categorize your spending. That's all in the budgeting starter kit if you want to do it pen and paper. But like I told you, the way our family tracked our spending that was really easy for us was to use a free service online called mint.com. There's lots of different tools that they have within mint.com. It's through the company Intuit. So of course do your own research, but we felt that it was totally secure and free. You link all of your credit cards, debit cards, savings accounts, you link them all into one place and then it tracks all of your spending for you. It takes a little bit of extra work when you're first setting it up because you have to train it a little bit when it comes to categorizing the spending. So when you first get started, you're gonna wanna kind of pop in maybe once a day or once every other day just for like a week. So like our family, we get our gas from the 7-Eleven down the street is usually the cheapest place to get it. So a lot of times Mint would categorize that as like takeout or fast food or something. So we had to train it. I just went in a couple times and then it'll catch on. Went to the 7-Eleven, categorized it as fuel. I did that a couple times and it caught on. So anyways, the third thing you need to do is to track your spending and categorize those spendings. Now you've categorized your spending, you know where you want to go with your money, you know what you want to do with it. Now you need to minimize your expenses. Make sure you're subscribed because I am going to be sharing a lot of different, more in-depth on the different ways that our family's been able to cut our spending drastically. After you've tracked for about a month, look through all the categories and see where you can cut. And I am betting money that one of the biggest places you're going to be able to cut money is in your food spending. You're eating out, going and getting a drink every morning on the way to work, things like that. Look for different ways where you can cut your spending, and again, I will be doing more in-depth videos on how to do that. Okay, we're moving on to step number 5 now. This is where we're actually going to sit down and get that budget on paper. Like I mentioned before, I do have a budgeting for beginners starter kit, and it has all of the paperwork that you need. And I actually have either a digital Excel spreadsheet template that has all of this stuff figured out. If you watch any of my budget updates, that's the exact same Excel spreadsheet that our family uses to manage our family budget. But then also I have a free printable for you guys, which is pretty much the exact same thing that's on the Excel spreadsheet, but on paper, because I know a lot of people like to use the pen and paper to track their budget and to set their budget. So there are both options for you guys. So again, the link's down below for you to download that completely for free. Now that we have your goals, we know where you're spending your money, and we've minimized your expenses, now you're finally ready to sit down and figure out where you want to spend your money. This is when you are deciding and telling your money where to go. The first thing you need to do is actually go back and prioritize those goals. What is most important? What are you going to work on first? I mentioned it before, but if you didn't get it, the first thing that I recommend doing is getting a $1,000 emergency fund set aside, completely separate, saved only for the most extreme emergencies, something that you need right away. Prioritize those goals, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to allocate every single dollar that you earn back from when we figured out what your income is. Allocate every single dollar, every single paycheck. This means you're going to need to sit down and list out all of your expenses, your fixed expenses. So these are the things, we minimize your expenses, right? But these are the things that are left over that you have to pay. You have to pay rent, or you have to pay your mortgage. You have to pay your gas and electric, keep the heat on, keep the lights on. All those things that you have to pay, those need to go first. And then once you have all of those set down out of the way, if you have any money left over is when you are going to start allocating the remainder of your money to those extras, which would be like paying extra towards your debt, or paying extra towards your savings, paying extra towards your vacation fund, things like that. And a side note, once you start getting that debt out of the way, this becomes a lot more fun process because you have a lot more options to do with your money. We just got our debt completely wiped out, so now we get to put our money towards saving to buy our first house, which is so exciting. And then we're also starting to think about how often do we want to go on a family vacation? Husband and I are planning our 10-year anniversary big, medium-sized vacation for this summer. And we're able to do that because we paid off our debt. Let me know what questions you guys have about how we paid off our debt. And I will also link you guys to a video down in the description box below to our debt-free journey to kind of give you guys an idea on how we were able to get to this point. And then step number 6 to starting a budget is my tips on how to actually stick to your budget. And by far, the 2 biggest things that have helped our family stick to our budget would be number 1, using cash. I will link you guys to a video on how to actually start a cash envelope system. But the way that our family works it is we pay most of our bills online using just like a direct payment from our checking account using like a debit card. But then anything that we physically go into a store to purchase, we use cash for. And there are studies that show people who use cash, regardless of who you are, tend to spend less money, which is our goal when we're trying to stay within our budget. So using cash would be the first strategy that has helped us stick to our budget. And then the second strategy is meal planning. Go back to where you are currently spending your money. Are you spending a ton of money on eating out and all of those different things? Going to the grocery store, maybe you're not eating out so much, but you're spending a lot of money at the grocery store and you just don't understand why. You can't minimize it. Our family, grand total, spends no more than $400 a month for our family of 5 each month on food. That's it, $400. Check out those links down below because I'll have links to you guys on how to start meal planning and all of that good stuff to help you guys get your meal planning budget down as minimal as possible, going back again to minimizing your expenses. Spending cash and meal planning are the 2 biggest things that have helped our family to actually stick to this budget. You've done all this work, you have these big, exciting goals ready for your family. You need to stick to your budget in order to achieve those goals. There you guys have it. Those are the 6 simple steps that you can start implementing today to help get your family on track and start your own budget. Budgets don't have to be restricting, and they're actually very freeing because instead of wondering where your money's gone and all of a sudden and having all these overdraft fees in your bank account, you're actually telling your money where to go, where you actually want to spend it, which in the long run are going to help you achieve the goals that you want to do and live your dream life on less. I've got a question for you. I want to know, where are you guys currently sitting on your budgeting journey? Are you completely in the dark and you have no idea where to start? Have you started a budget but you keep falling off the wagon and breaking your budget every single month? Are you a budgeting pro and you have tips that you want to share with us? Leave all of that down in the comments below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!